Welcome all. Michael Goorjian is a filmmaker, a writer, and an Emmy Award-winning actor. He is an Armenian from San Francisco. We'll be discussing an exciting endeavor Michael has embarked on, a film called Amerikatsi, meaning American in Armenian. So, Michael, thank you very much for your time. Thanks for joining me.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
So, we've been hearing about this film, Amerikatsi, which, as I understand, it is about an Armenian genocide survivor who goes to America, and then he decides to repatriate to Armenia, which at the time is under Soviet rule, and he ends up going into prison, but also discovering the country and having a connection to an Armenian family through his prison that really teach him about Armenianness and Armenia. So it's, I think, a really, really interesting plot. Can you tell us a little more about the film, what it was like making it, and why you decided to make a film that's so much about Armenia and Armenianness?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I think as an artist and being Armenian, I think many artists feel that, a draw to want to do something related to our heritage and I actually visited Armenia in 2006 for the first time and was so taken by the country and the people and my experiences there that I, always sort of dreamed of I would find something that I could come and shoot in Armenia. And, I felt strongly that I wanted to do something there. I
Mm,
know that there have been films that have made there. There have been Armenian films that have been made about Armenia elsewhere, but just to be in the country with the people there and work with the people there was kind of important to me and part of my goal. Um, and I also wanted to find something that meant something to me and wasn't. I like making films that are inspire people, that are uplifting, that uh, that give people a sense of hope. I mean, that's kind of whenever I find a script I really love, it's usually has an aspect of that. And so it took a while to find a story that was, there's a lot of films that have been made about the genocide, which is very important, but I wanted to do something that uh, had had a sense of hope about it. And
mm,
it just so happened I was learning about repatriation and the different periods of repatriation. And I found this story, this idea for a story that fit very well within that era. And it's a part of Armenian history that hasn't really been explored that much,
mm.
especially in film. Um, so those were all kind of the elements that got me to the script that we ended up shooting.
Mm. And obviously, like you say, you can make a film about Armenia, but not necessarily film it in Armenia. And I even understand one of the filming locations is the Armenian city of Ashtarak. What was it like filming in Armenian locations with an Armenian backdrop?
We shot all over. We shot in Astrak. We shot up in Gumri. We
Okay.
shot in Yerevan. We shot a lot at the High Studios, the National Cinema Center,
Hmm.
and actually the Ministry of Culture both sponsored the film. They were incredible to support us, especially for me because you know being someone who the fact that they trusted me, I think, was great.
Mm,
And so, anyways, we shot in a lot of different areas in Armenia, but we also were shooting in 2020.
mm,
We started shooting in March of 2020, which is
mm.
right when the pandemic started. So we were about 10 days into shooting and the whole country locked down. And so it was quite an experience. I ended up staying in Armenia for about 7 months for the shoot. So yeah, it was interesting.
And I mean, even the cast, there are not only Armenians, but many Armenians in the cast, and also some Russians. I'm wondering, how did you and others formulate the cast? Why was there such a great Armenian representation in the cast?
Well, I mean, honestly, yeah, from the get-go, I wanted to, but partially because of what the story was.
Mm,
But the story is about someone from the diaspora wanting to come back. And when he gets there, what he finds is the Soviet Union and not necessarily Armenia. Uh, and that's a great, that part of the story is great. But in writing it, I realized there's the other side of the story, which is the Armenians that grew up in the Soviet Armenia and
mhm,
their side of it. Being part of the diaspora, I think this idea of longing to go home and longing for the homeland and all that is very well known to me, but
mm,
understanding what the other side is, and what it's like, especially at the time, the type of repression of culture of the church, of Sovietizing the people in various ways, Russifying Armenians.
mhm,
That experience was for me a big part of uh, what I think the story became. And that's not something I grew up with. So I looked to the actors,
mm,
the crew, uh, to help inform me. I mean, so much of this script was rewritten by
mhm.
with the help of Armenians there, because they understood it better than me. And also because of the situation of the pandemic, we had more time than we were than we originally planned on. So we really got to go deeper in terms of details, and uh, I learned so much, and I'm very thankful for especially the cast and the crew. Uh, and I have to say, I've had compliments from non-Armenians filming or screening the film here in America. I have people going, "Where did you find these guys? Where are these? Everyone down to the smallest role is so good." I
Mhm.
said, "Well, they're in Armenia."
Yeah.
So
I mean,
yeah,
even the cast, looking at it, actors, Hovik Kuchkerian, also Jean-Pierre Nishanyan, cameraman Qasem Ebrahimian, film producers Nishanyan Arman, Patrick Malkhasian, just to name a few. I mean,
yeah,
what's interesting also is that it's also a big variety of Armenians. You yourself are from the diaspora, but then there are Armenians from Armenia too.
right.
So,
Yeah, and that was part of the goal. I mean, like Patrick Malkasian, the producer, is
mhm,
from the States. Arman Nishanian is from Armenia, lives over there. Uh, yeah, I mean, like this is a big question. What does it mean to be an Armenian? Because
mhm,
there's the country and everybody there, and then we're spread out all over the place. And um, this is explored in the story as well with my characters. Like, what does it mean to be? Am I Armenian? Am I not? What is? So as much as possible, we try to reflect that in how we built the project, and some of the goals for the producers and for the Ministry of Culture
mhm,
was to we created hundreds of jobs. We and wanting to do something for Armenia. There are people that like, oh, we're gonna plant trees, we're gonna build up. Well, I'm an artist, so what can
mhm,
I do? I think it's easy. For me, it makes more sense to go there and create something with people there, because this is part of, I think, what's needed and beautiful about Armenians in the diaspora and in Armenia is we can learn from each other. There are expertise in things that I have from my years in Hollywood and everything,
mhm,
that by being on set with the actors there, I can share what I know. And then I'm also getting things that, insights and ideas from them. It happened with the crew as well, but, between our cinematographer. So essentially, in terms of percentages, I'd say 90% of the cast and crew is all based in Armenia. And then we brought some key Armenians from the diaspora and myself to come and work, to work with everybody. And that relationship, as much as possible, was, like I was going to say, with the cinematographer and the crew there, he was able to bring things that haven't been used in Armenia yet, lighting techniques and stuff that they, oh my God, this is fantastic. And now they can use and, use in other films. And I more than anything would love, I have a lot of ambition with this film. And, part of it is I love the idea of helping share Armenian culture and our country with non-Armenians. So in a way, writing the script, I'd say I wrote it more for non-Armenians than Armenians. Armenians will, of course, love it, but it was a way to kind of create something that I could share and say, here, this is our culture. This is an aspect of our culture and who we are. So anyways, that was a big goal of mine, and hopefully we did it.
And I mean, there are other Armenians in the diaspora that want to help Armenia, but they may say they want to do it, but don't end up doing it. Let's say yourself. When did you start to want to do a film about Armenia? Was it back in 2006? Was it later? What was it that really galvanized you to do this?
Yeah, I mean, well, in 2006, visiting and being there. And then I would say also the revolution and seeing what was going on then. I think it inspired a lot of Armenians, and which drove this idea of a story about longing to go back to one's homeland. So those were the initial things, but I don't know, these things kind of snowball. And it started as a smaller idea, and then I met, with my producer Patrick Malkassian. We both went to high school together, and I shared the story with him, and he encouraged me. He was like, "This is important. This is something that is to want to having an actual project, having something that is." For me, it's the best way to share, is we're going to do this adventure together. And, shooting a film is basically like going on an adventure, going to war together or whatever. I mean, you're really with a group of people struggling to make something out of nothing. And it's a collaborative art. So, all of those things kind of drove me to go, why not? You only live once, do what you dream of. And to me, it was a big dream to do it. So, and I would say to do something that can also inspire other filmmakers, both in the diaspora, because I think, the question of film in Armenia, is it possible? What's there? If you're in Armenia, you can go, oh yeah, obviously you're not in Armenia. A lot of people have no idea what's possible there, what exists in terms of filmmaking and infrastructure. So in a way, this was a way of creating an example that other filmmakers, Armenian or even not, can see and go, see what's possible in Armenia. And that's what I brought up. I brought up even just the actors, for people to go, wow, there's really good actors there. Wow, the locations are amazing. Wow, there's a lot there. I think that can help the country and help in particular artists in the country, who I think, are amazingly talented and need to have a light shined on them. And not only that, then we also then had the National Philharmonic recorded the score with Andronik Berberian, who did the score. And, that was something we didn't really at first budget for or plan on. And when I was saying things kind of snowball, we were just like, hey, look, this is an Armenian film there's so many people involved. We need the music to be, you know, let's get, in the music we have, you know, Michael, guitar player. He's a very famous guitar player over there. Mikhail Vovoskin, Voskanian, Mikhail Voskanian. He actually, Serge was the one who found him. He found him like on YouTube. Yeah. So one of the main characters in the film plays the tar. And so we wanted to find somebody who could play the tar to teach the actor. And then also we were like, a lot of the music in the film needs to be a mix of folk music and period Soviet Armenian music, and then the score. So anyways, yeah, I mean, I feel like I tried to build a collage of as many aspects of Armenia, because look, hopefully when we show the film in Los Angeles, there'll be some other filmmaker who go, how did you get that score? And I'll say, well, Armenia. Yeah. Go hire the Philharmonic.
Okay, and finally, Michael, I'm not going to take any more of your time, but how can people who are watching this that want to watch Amerikatsi, how can they get their hands on the film? What can you tell us about distribution? Also, I heard a rumor about Woodstock Festival. Can you tell us what that's about?
Sure, yeah. We got a lot coming down the pipe. Well, we're in discussions with distribution right now. In the meantime, we are going to be going to the Woodstock Film Festival this September, end of this month. Then we'll be at the Hamburg Film Festival. Actually, we haven't officially announced that, but we'll be at the Hamburg Film Festival. Then the rest of them I'll leave to announce, but we have about 5 to 10 festivals coming up through the fall. Yeah, we want to do a really strong push. We have a lot of people supporting the film here in the States, especially in Los Angeles, who feel this is a really strong film that has a chance of bridging over and attracting an audience beyond an Armenian audience. The Armenian audience, obviously, I made it for them as well, so once we go to festivals, then we'll end up in distribution. I'm hoping we'll come back and re-release the film in Armenia and have a proper premiere there. We were at the Golden Apricot Festival, which was phenomenal. It was a great festival. Harachun and Susanna and the people that do that festival are great. But we hope to come back and premiere the film in Armenia. I think it's still running in a theater in was it Kino Park, I believe, or maybe another week. So because the festival, there were a lot of people that wanted to see it that couldn't see it because it was there, we just had 2 screenings. So the producers decided to put the film in a festival for a few weeks, so people that didn't get to see it. So if you're in Yerevan and want to see it, it'll be there for a week. But that's kind of where we're at right now with putting it out.
Okay, well, Michael Goorjian, thank you so much for your time. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you. And I am a big fan of CivilNet. I just have to say that.
Thank you. And the film is called Amerikatsi. We invite you all to check it out. So thank you for joining us on CivilNet.